Hi everyone, my name is Alajos. I am currently finishing up my master's degree in meteorology at Austria and University, and I am currently in training at HungaroMet to be an aviation meteorologist. As a first quick exercise, I will turn on the annotations, and if you'd like to try to put in the jet stream, feel free to attempt to do it. And for those joining, we are trying to find the jet stream. Feel free to annotate it. Yep. All right. Thank you, everyone who tried drawing. I'll just quickly wipe and then, yeah. Here is where the jet stream is. As you can see, it is in line with the water vapor pattern that you can see on this slide as well, sort of west of the main continent. There's a northern the direction of the jet stream, and then it is waving above the continent. You can also see that it separates the polar and the mid-latitude air masses very nicely on this satellite image. As you can see, the current situation, this was at 9 UTC today. We have the clouds that you could see on the water vapor with frozen tops, quite typical for October weather. Here it is on the cloud type as well. You can see some stratuses over the northeastern part of Europe as well. And there have been some lightning detections by the MTG lightning detector over the Mediterranean. Another quick exercise, if you'd like to, you can try to put in sort of the frontal systems or the fronts, if you'd like to give it a go. This is an analysis for midnight yesterday, so 0 UTC today.
So once again, if you want to annotate, you can click on the annotation button above the prisoner's screen in the right-hand side.
Yes, I can see someone drawing over the Atlantic Ocean. That is exactly what we were thinking as well, and also over continental Europe. I'll give a few more moments for people who want to give it a go as well. All right, just great. So as you can see, this was prepared by my colleagues. This is the surface analysis for, once again, the same time. As you can see, there is a cyclone over the Atlantic Ocean, and there is also another cyclone over sort of Germany, Northern Europe, with a frontal system that could, depending on how you prefer to draw the fronts, that could go down to the Mediterranean. Here is sort of an image of, this is 850 pressure level temperature. As you can see, the warm sector is clearly visible on the cyclone above the Atlantic Ocean. And if we go on to the pseudopotential temperature at 850 pressure level, it also is very clear that why the front above sort of Northern Europe wasn't pulled down until down to the Mediterranean, because it isn't a clear harsh gradient as it would be for a front. As you can see, this is the wind forecast for 12 UTC today, so about right now. You can see the cyclone once again over the Atlantic and over Northern Europe, sort of Sweden there. And as we go forward in time, this is midnight UTC today. The cyclone above the Atlantic is sort of moving to the north. This is tomorrow 12 UTC and the day after tomorrow 12 UTC. And we can also see that the cyclone above Northern Europe is shifting to the east. These two are going to be the main players that will affect the weather above Europe in the next few days. As you can see, this is a relative humidity and pollen content water image. Once again, 12 UTC today, and as we go forward in time, we can see that there is a long, narrow, very humid filament, which is an atmospheric river over the Atlantic Ocean, and it is approaching the western shore of Europe. So Portugal, Spain, France, and the UK will be affected by very humid air mass up until in the next few days. And this is an image sort of weather, cloud and precipitation displayed. This is 12 UTC today once again. And as we go forward in time, we see that this atmospheric river, this cyclone, will be bringing a lot of precipitation and clouds in the next few days to Europe. The minimum temperatures are typical for October. It is reaching around freezing point, so zero temperature in the next few days, but it will not go much below that. And the maximum temperatures are, however, a bit warmer than usual. It's around 20 something, 20 few degrees in the next coming days. Thank you very much for your attention, and I will be giving this over to Zsofia.
Hello, everyone. So usually in this second part of the weather briefing, we try to pick one of the most significant weather or most interesting event and talk about that. But I have to tell you that I had trouble to narrow down it one significant event, because if you remember, October was a very interesting month with a lot of things happening over Europe, with several storms and also some severe storms in the Mediterranean, and also fog clouds. So there was so many things that I was not able to choose. So instead of going into one of them and talk about in depth, I will try to just go over some of this in the next part of the weather briefing. So one of the first storm that was approaching Europe in beginning of October was Storm Amy, causing quite a lot of headache in the northern part of Europe, in Ireland and the British Isles, and also Scandinavia. There were several parts or areas in Norway which was without electricity because of these storms, not to mention some flooding and things like that. So in this animation we can see this is 2-day animation. First with the infrared, or at night with the infrared image of MTG FCI, and then we have the cloud phase, and we can see the storm there. If you can see my mouse, then this was the storm. So after Storm Amy, in the middle of October, there was also Storm Joshua approaching, let's say, Western Europe. It also caused quite a lot of problems in Germany with a lot of precipitation. We can see this GeoColor image of FCI. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this kind of image. This is the true color during day, and at night, where we moving to the night, then you see that some of the, let's just start again. Some of the clouds appear bluish. That means they are low clouds, and the higher clouds are whitish, so they are high clouds. And we also have the city lights below the clouds. So Storm Joshua caused some problems. We can see the storm intensifying there and moving up to the northern part of Germany. And if we just look at one image of the cloud face image, we can see this is in the morning. And if we concentrate on this part, we see the cloud tops appear a little bit like the skin of an orange. So I have a question for you. So what do you think can be the reason why this cloud top looks like this? Here I gave you 3 different options to choose from, so you can use your annotation tools to mark the option you think can be the reason, or why sometimes the cloud tops appear this like an orange peel, or the skin of the orange. We have the 3 options: overshooting tops, influence of dust, artifacts. I have seen some of you already mentioning influence of dust. I will give some more time if you want to think about. Okay, I don't see anyone else annotating. So we move on. Yes, usually the cloud tops looks like the orange peel because of the influence of the dust, and probably many of you have already heard about the DIPS clouds, the dust-infused baroclinic storms, which looks on the visible channel. It's very nicely looks like a skin of an orange. And also it has, if you look at the Weather storm RGB, that we can also see that the particle size are smaller because of all the dust particles acting as ice nuclei. I won't go into details why this is happening, but there is a very nice resource on the EUMeTrain website in the Satman, which tells you about this conceptual model and what is most likely what is going on in the storm tops, and why these special cloud tops appear. So if you are interested, please go and visit the Satmanu and read. There are 2 different theories, but they are partly overlapping. So if we look a little bit more about Storm Joshua, and if we see in the Weather storm RGB, it looks a little bit yellowish, so probably there are smaller particles on the top of the cloud. And if we also look at the Argus RGB, usually these DIPS clouds, they are very cold and very white on the Argus RGB, and although this is not so white, so it's still a question whether this is influenced by dust or not. If we look again at this loop, then usually on the TrueColor RGB we can see the dust, especially when the sun is rising or going down very nicely, but I have been looking and I couldn't see any dust appearing in the TrueColor RGB. I was also looking at the dust RGB, of course, but I couldn't see anything there either. So I started to look whether we can really find anything there. And what I found is there is some automatic products, algorithms, which try to detect the aerosol and also define the type. So this is the NASA VIRS T-Blue aerosol type product, which you can see overlaid on the clouds. And because this is 2 overpass of a polar satellite, it's not so easy to see it, but this is Spain. And around this area with these blue dots, this algorithm detected some dust. So probably there were some dust in the air, but it's still very questionable whether this is really was a DIPS cloud or was it not a DIPS cloud? Because also the DIPS cloud usually longer-lived clouds, and this was not so long-lived. So it's still a question whether this was it or not. But that was one very interesting thing during October. And also, if we think about October, then we could see in the couple of days that during the second part of October, the Alps started to be covered by snow. And also, this was yesterday morning, we could see very nice valley fog in the Alps. This is the high-resolution cloud phase RGB, which uses the high-resolution visible channels of FCI at 500 meter and one channel at 1 kilometer. So this is very fine resolution. And I will give you the rights to annotate again. So in this loop, this covers one hour. Now it's stopped. It seems like it's not able to go while the annotation tool is on. So I will stop the annotation tool, and please look at this loop and try to find areas where you can see the fog dissipating. This covers 1 hour, about 1 hour, and I will give you some moments to study a little bit this loop, and please remember where you can see the fog dissipating. And then now I will give you the annotation option, so you can try to mark the areas where you could see the fog dissipating, if you want to try. All right, something there. Anybody else? Shall I put the loop on again? Maybe I can do that.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea.
Unfortunately, we cannot annotate while the loop is running, which is unfortunate. Okay, so you can try to annotate now. Good. Anyone else? All right. Yes, that was one of the areas. I will stop the annotation. I hope you can see my mouse.
Yes,
This
we
is
can.
one. Okay, good. This is one of the places where you can see the fog dissipating. And what it seems like, if we concentrate on this area, in this valley, or even this as well, it seems like the fog is moving into the valley. But this is not the case, actually. It's in early morning, and we have shadow of the mountain, and it's just, we just don't see the fog here. I don't think it's moving into the valley, it's just a shadow that is disappearing when the sun is getting higher and higher. I think this is very interesting because with some small things that, like a valley fog, we would think that there is nothing in here, but actually it's there. We just don't see it because it's masked by the shadow of the mountain. I think this is something we should keep in mind, especially when the sun is getting up in the morning, that we can see quite some shadows, and these can be problematic, especially in cases like this. So that's about the fog. And I think we all have heard, and we are quite aware that what is going on in the Caribbean with Hurricane Melissa. So here I put map of AVHRR images, RGB images, 1 image per day. And here we can see this is the first day when it was called tropical storm 21st of September, and then it started to intensify. We can see from day to day. Here we have an overpass. One of the overpasses is here, the other one is there. That's why the image is not as nice. Also, so we are moving, and then we reach the hurricane phase, and then it intensifies. And EUMeTrain has also published an image of Hurricane Melissa from METOP SGA1 MET image. This is a TrueColor RGB image. You know, this is the second generation polar satellite EUMeTrain has launched a couple of months ago. And this is still under commissioning and in testing phase, but they have issued this, or published this very nice image of the hurricane, and I think it's so spectacular that I had to put it in here. We can see all the overshooting tops there, and I think it's just so beautiful, this image, that I had to put it there. And if we look into this loop, this is a 2-day loop where we can see, this is also a GeoColor image, and we can see the hurricane approaching first Jamaica, and then it, before it hit Jamaica, it was category 5, I think you know, and then it dropped to category 3, and then it was going over Cuba again. So we can see the eye approaching Jamaica, and then when it goes over land, we can see how quickly the strength is lowering, and then it goes over to Cuba. I think this is, it looks very nice on the satellite images, but I wouldn't want to be there, that's for sure. So, and what will happen with Melissa? Will it affect the weather in Europe or not? Here we have the ECMWF mean sea level, pressure, and 850 hectopascal wind forecast for the next couple of days until 3rd of November. So we can see Melissa moving towards Europe according to the forecast. So we will really see what will happen and how it will affect the weather in Europe. With that, thank you very much, and if there is any questions, that we are happy to answer you if we can.